Folks, welcome to Werewolf Radar, the world's premier paranormal preparedness podcast. My name's Jordan Dahl or something.
I am Roger Norquist, I think.
Today's episode of Werewolf Radar is brought to you by Monstruco Events Worldwide presents Santa Claus versus 10,000 naughty children live at Madison Square Garden. He's making a fist and checking it twice. Santa Claus live at the Garden, brought to you by Monstruco.
I'm betting on it.
Yeah, Santa, I mean, he did 8,000 in, like, I think 75, but as kind of a warning shot across the prow of naughty children everywhere.
But do you think he can go past 9,000? Like, sooner or later...
Absolutely.
Sooner or later, it's an old jokey meme, but sooner or later, you're gonna... The 9,578th kid's gonna be too much and you're overtaken.
That's interesting. But we are talking about Santa Claus, kind of a god of gifts and punishment. And I've seen footage from the 75 match. He could have kept going. He was holding himself back. You can see if he unleashes, I think we're going to get to see Santa Claus do some pretty interesting stuff.
All right, it better be better than Paul versus Tyson. That's all I'm saying.
Come on, Saint Nick, I got a lot of dough riding on this baby.
Oh, I'm voting on the kids.
I got a lot of Christmas credits riding on this bad boy. Papa needs a PlayStation 9. I have a deal with St. Nicholas where he's going to potentially bring me a PlayStation 9. It's from the future.
Ooh,
yeah.
You are the graphics.
It goes on your face. I truly believe that's the direction that video games are going. We're doing like the MetaQuest 3, getting up on your face. I think at some point the PlayStation 9 is just going to be like a faceplate that you put on.
And then is it VR or is it like your consciousness inside the world of, I don't know, Decap Attack?
What is that?
It's a game where you play a decapitated mummy.
Roger, oh my God, that's right. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was for the Sega. It was one of my favorite games. One of the first games I beat.
Do you remember? Incredible. Another piece of the Norquist mythology falls into place. Roger, you have, I would say, a preternatural ability to sniff out the strangest indie, small, niche games. And, I think that's a pretty powerful racial bonus.
It is. It's part of the white nerd class. And
perhaps racial wasn't the right word.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
No, it's racial because there's I'm not going to keep going with this bit.
Bail out. Boy, speaking of, I'm hoping to get the new Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook.
Nice.
Haven't heard a lot of people saying how great it is. I haven't heard people saying that it sucks. I think it's because 5e was such a crusher.
Is this a 3 and 3.5 situation? I don't know. 3.5 broke the doors down. They were like, oh, I can play that wolf I've always wanted to be. I'm not a furry.
I'm not super familiar with 3.5, though I know it was the intro for a lot of people. I came in at 4.
I came in at 2.
Oof, mamma mia. But, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of people talking about it in the same way that they were talking about 5e.
5e was a return to form. I think everything will be a little bit muter after this.
Yeah.
I hope they add paranormal things.
Anyway.
I need more vampire werewolves.
Nate Balding isn't here today because he had to work. Monstruco called him into the factory. It's his job he has to unclog the gore hoses when the gore hoses get clogged up. But he's not there yet. Oh, he just messaged us. This is live from Nate Balding to Werewolf Radar. This is the secret inside tea.
Spill.
He says, so I'm in the position to just walk around Home Depot as a person with no knowledge about most of the shit in here and make things up, which I think I should do, but it will definitely be bad for anyone that I sell a thing to. It could be fun if it's recorded. So he's at Home Depot and he's going to be walking around selling chop saws and things to people until it's time for him to go to work.
Nice. Well, kill time well, my friend. Kill time well. May I suggest a spalook?
A spalook. Get on a spalook. What is that?
I just made it up, but it sounds like a tool.
Oh boy. Mamma mia. We got to talk about the drones, Raj.
We do. It's
It's so
actually in our
tiresome
it's tiresome. I got ideas on it. I'm sure you do as well.
because they're everywhere.
If you're the
And
one man under a rock, drones be attacking the East Coast. An
there's
attack
drones.
with many, many quotation marks around it.
Yes, yes. So what do you know? Hit me with what you know.
All
What's the
right.
back of the baseball card on
Back
what's
of the
been
baseball
happening
card.
in America at the end of
Back of the
2024?
baseball card. The what? Drones have been seen over people's houses, over military bases, over airports, in the seas, off of the beach.
Started in New Jersey.
Started in New Jersey, has been spreading very fast into neighboring states. I think there's even been some sightings in the middle of the country now. And the why, don't know. The how, don't know, but there's many theories. Same thing with the why.
Yeah.
Who, what, why, where? Where? We already said it. What's
Skywatchers, ufologists,
yes.
people who pay attention to these types of things are positively giddy. We're crapping our pants.
I
Our
believe,
pants are riddled with craps and peas
was it the governor or
because we're
lieutenant
so
governor
excited. Go
of
on.
New Jersey who said that it's an Iranian, he knows
Yeah.
it's an Iranian mothership.
Well, I mean, Trump, the God King to be,
God
in an
King.
interview said that he's been briefed on it, and he was like, I know what it is, they know what it
Yep,
is, but they're
yep.
not saying, they're not allowed to tell, nobody's telling the secret. And given the fact that his eyes didn't go crossed and he didn't poop his pants right there, I'm guessing it's something that human beings can wrap their minds around.
I don't know. Royal Vizier Elon Musk
Uh,
says he knows about it as well,
oh, and he's gone quite
and
loopy.
he's gone quite loopy.
It's never good. It's never easy to tell with the Vizier because he's kind of a kooky presence all the time. He's kind of a mad scientist, sycophant, billionaire energy, and that's always. Maybe he found out a long time ago about aliens, and he's just been going cuckoo ever since. It's like when Jim Carrey first took mushrooms and went on all those shows and was telling everybody, was trying to blow everyone's minds.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. I don't take too much what the Royal Vizier actually says, but it's one
Yeah.
of those to where I think
After
him and Trump are just trying to be like, don't worry, you can listen to us.
Yeah, the big turning point for me, this is so funny because there's so many reasons to hate Elon Musk and he does suck. If you didn't know that, that's what we're about here. That dude can kick rocks to hell. But like, that wasn't my opinion even like 7 years ago. I was like, he seems fine. He's doing the Tesla thing, right? And then, since then, holy
It's been
moly.
downhill.
Holy moly, what a
PR.
fall, what a PR. He really made everyone aware of what a piece of shit he's always been.
In
The real
America,
breaking point,
sometimes that's actually a good thing for some people.
rolling uphill. The big one was his Elden Ring build. I was like, what is this, dude?
I
What are you
think
doing? It's one thing to do this because I made mistakes out of the gate, but once the knowledge is out there, you got to adjust.
he played what the
Intelligence.
whole community, and no shame on anyone who does this. Jordan, I know you're one of these players, but you don't do it like this.
Mhm,
He just does a mage because you can attack from a distance instead of getting all up in there.
mhm.
And then he just drinks all the potion and one shots bosses. Like he does that cheese.
How dare
Takes the
you?
whole fun out of the game.
You think that that's me?
No,
Fight. Wow,
but
you
no, I
don't
see
like
your
it.
mage
It
build.
ain't easy being a mage, you know? We're out here, we catch one little spine of the monster to our cloak. Oh, my cloak. I have to go get this washed.
I started
Um,
as a mage in Elden Ring, but now look at me now, naked with the gut sword.
I'm doing the my kind of final build that I settled on is the light greatsword. the stand, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, where you hold the sword out.
Yep.
It's very cool, but I'm not good enough to beat bosses with it. Some bosses, obviously, but largely because of my years spent playing a glass cannon. Because I don't know what to do when you get up
Anyway,
there.
not much
Okay.
respect for Elon Musk. We're talking about drones. What
Hey,
are
look.
they, Jordan?
Hey,
What's
look. I was gonna get back there. I was gonna
okay?
segue us back there.
My bad.
Okay, so we're finally getting around to the drones. So this is from CBSnews.com. This is what CBS has to say about it. This was on December 22nd. That's today, day of recording. CBS News poll: who's behind the drones? Most Americans think the government is hiding information.
Yes.
They say there's plenty of public uncertainty about who's controlling the drones spotted over the East Coast. One idea does dominate, though. The public suspects the U.S. government is keeping information from them. 22% of Americans think that the government is telling the public all it knows. Wow, that's remarkably higher.
Then I truly feel it should be. Like, come on, the government's lying to
Everything
you
it
about
knows?
everything.
Old people control the nation. 78% believe that is being kept from us. Americans have a range of theories about who's controlling the drones, with the US government as the most suspected, but no one answer dominates. So 26% of Americans believe that it's the US government,
Okay.
18% believe it's private
All right,
citizens,
what would that be now? We're at 44.
17% believe it's a foreign country,
That'd be like what, 61 now?
and 2% believe it's aliens,
There's a lot of part of this pie that needs to be filled.
with a whopping 37%
Okay, that's the rest of that pie.
saying that they don't know.
I thought it was going to be they don't care.
They don't know.
Okay, so that's some pretty good
Which
stats.
is truly the greatest wisdom of all, is it not?
Yeah.
Is
It's just straight up
admitting
admit.
that you know nothing.
Yeah, that shows true knowledge of self
Yeah,
and the world around you.
but it doesn't help us here.
It does not.
The next question from the CBS pollsters was, are the drones a threat to the US? Roger?
Everything is. We live in dire times, fellow
Sure.
citizens.
Okay,
Grab your weapons of choice. Mine is a cheese grater.
grab a pitchfork and a blunderbuss.
We're going to City Hall.
The space aliens are here. They agree. Your fellow citizens agree. 53% say yes, it is a threat. 47% say no, it's not a threat. So there you go. That's the CBS poll response. We do have an article from Axios here that talks about kind of some of the theories that are going around out there. For my money, without, you know what, we'll save it. We'll save it for the roundup mashup. They call this the what ifs war. Why drone sightings have driven conspiracy theory delirium. Conspiracy thelirium, if you will.
Ooh, I will. I'll eat that right
a
up.
rare compound that powers the radar.
Surely.
As mystery drone sightings popped up across the Northeast, federal officials assured the public there was nothing to fear. But the internet didn't buy it, and conspiracy theories began to fill the information void. TikTok is going nuts. I don't know if you've been watching.
No, I don't really. I have actually.
Yeah.
It's been great. I've been enjoying a lot of it.
Yeah. It's going wild. I have seen some videos that are like, oh, weird. Some videos of like straight up craft with like spinning like lights and shit going around the middle of the craft itself, which almost feels like a radar array or something.
Could you find that? I'm gonna try
I'll
finding
send it
Don't
to you
worry.
again, but there's some pretty interesting footage going around. There's also a lot of really up close blurry images, which is like when you can't get a good focus on a light, it looks pretty weird. And a lot of people are saying like it looks like how angels were described in the Bible. Like
With the 100 eyes and the
with, well,
spinning wheels within
wheels
wheels?
within wheels. It almost looks like
Okay.
gyroscope, but that's also what it looks like when you're sort of misfilming a blurry light. So
Listen. If it ain't got the 100 eyes, I don't think you're an angel.
here's the thing. Again, we'll get to our conclusions. Um, but this is from Axios. This is the big picture. The situation has the right components to feed conspiracy theories, experts say. A
Yes.
key force at play in driving conspiracy theory beliefs, especially in the internet era, is that stories are more likely to spread if they provoke emotions, says David Dunning. And regrettably, the emotions that work the best in terms of promoting spread are negative ones: anger, contempt, fear. So this is kind of a lot about. Some have suggested that the drones are secretly sniffing out radioactive materials. I've heard that one. They're looking for a dirty bomb. Have you heard this?
No, that's a new
Yeah.
one for me. Did they find
Uh,
it?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll be the first to know. The sightings have also sparked mentions of Project Bluebeam, which is a conspiracy theory that government or global elites would fake an alien invasion using futuristic NASA technology to implement a new world order and religion.
I have never heard of this. I'm
You
Googling this
never heard of
right
Project
now.
Bluebeam? Well, we need to do an episode on it, quite frankly.
Apparently.
Yeah, they have a, they're going to turn the whole sky into a hologram.
But why?
Yeah, to fake alien battles. Boy,
Oh,
yeah,
I mean,
I
if
got
you're
some stuff
putting
you
that
should
type
read.
of shit on the TV, I'm watching. All right.
The sky is the TV. Life will be entertainment. So some people claim they're aliens. And another sect of theories contains the sightings could be angels.
Which, I mean, show me the 100 eyes.
Which is that those are your big trifectas, you know, your aliens, your religious, your government.
Yeah.
That's gonna make some conspiracy happen. That's kind of the who, what, where of what's been happening. People are seeing these things. For my money, I think that the poll is about it's probably, I think what's really going on is a combination of the first three things, and of course the last one, the don't know. The first four things wouldn't surprise me. In fact, the U.S. government, private citizens, foreign country, and aliens. I think it's all happening. I
All
think
at
that
once, huh?
I think the government was doing a thing to be like, we're gonna try our new drone, blah blah. Then like people started seeing them, or maybe there was a foreign country showed up at the shore and they were like spying on people, and so America was like, okay, well here's some drones of ours. What do you think of that? And they're just kind of looking at each other, and then private citizens were like, what's going on up there? This is we don't around in Jersey, and they sent up their own drones, and then the government was like, please don't send up your own drones, and they were like, they're trying to keep the truth from us, we got to send up more drones.
Yep.
So I think we're kind of seeing the burgeoning, the drone age, if you will. There's not a lot of, it's not easy to police that type of thing, you know. They've got air traffic control and stuff, but what are you going to do? Drones don't have license plates, or maybe they do, and I don't know.
They
But in amongst
do.
all of this air traffic, bzzz, everything's buzzing around. Maybe the aliens are popping in and being like, "Hey, what's up, freaks? What are you guys doing? What is this?" All right, later.
That's a very nuanced take on it, and it's a lot better than mine, because
What's
it could
yours?
be a lot of
Hit me.
just the people. I think
Mhm.
these are all unregistered drones.
The drone age.
I think we're in drone age. I'm on with you there. But I think these are all unregistered drones. Everyone got them for Thanksgiving. Do you give gifts for Thanksgiving?
Sure. Sometimes.
Excellent. Everyone got a drone for Thanksgiving.
Ah.
And they're just doing it. I think maybe the post-election fever.
Hmm. They're like, I'm taken to the skies.
Yeah, on both sides of the aisle. But I think they're all unregistered drones. Some of them have been confirmed, but now I'm trusting the government. So take my say with a grain of, I don't know what you people eat.
A grain of
Ivermectin.
a grain of alien salt.
But I do believe that a number of these drone sightings have also been confirmed to be planes, both commercial and delivery.
Well, that's your flap right there. That's the flap getting involved.
Have I been
No, no,
flapped?
no. I just mean that's when people start dragging everything into it because there's a flap happening. There's a
Yeah.
UFO flap, and people start there's a core of truth happening, and then somebody's like, and look, there's another one, and it's like that's a UPS plane, and he's like, and there's another one, that's a bird, and there's another one, that's the moon. It's there every night.
But I do believe that this is all personal use. I don't believe in the government.
I could see it beginning with the government doing, war games. Drones are becoming a bigger part of the military. They could be out there running exercises, and people were like, "Hey,
But we
bring it
would
on, baby."
never
I hate to keep attacking this character,
we
but
would I don't think the US government would ever do such things near American soil.
I guess you're right, which
We
is
are
mhm,
we are a large imperialistic octopus of a country, if you know
sure.
the reference I'm making. Give yourself a cookie,
Hydra?
listener. But I think because we're so imperialist, we'll do what we've always done and test nukes in Guam, you know?
Sure. That is a
That's
good
where we would
point.
rather that like we would do this near our base in Germany or something.
Which brings me a little closer to the idea of maybe it was, maybe some foreign interest showed up at the shore and the government was like, "Okay, so you want to stare? Let's stare."
I
Uh
don't think it's
or
Iran though. Iran.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or
Maybe cross drone play. We're
or
in
it's
drone
the
age, so
or it's the
our neighbors got
first
them.
it's the first thing where it was private citizens and they were just getting out of control, and the government was like, "All right, well, let's send some drones in although
Cheesebot
that seems
has
less likely."
Cheesebot has a good thing,
What's the
and
take?
this could be a number of everything. We are
Hmm.
truly in the we don't know category.
Hmm.
What if some of these are also then drug smugglers?
Smug drugglers, of course.
Be a lot
That
safer than driving a kilo of coke
I mean,
versus droning a kilo of coke.
I'm sure it's like an opportunistic situation where a lot of people are taking advantage of the misdirect and the confusion and the hysteria to get shit like that done, you know? If I had a drone, I'd be up there. If I had a drone and I lived in New Jersey, I'd be up there.
I'm looking it up right now. Actually, we're
I'd
gonna get
absolutely
Werewolf
be up
Radar a
there.
drone.
You better believe I'd be. Oh God, we could spray like the logo on the side.
All right, a huge one, a free fly Astro Base industrial drone, $26,000.
Okay, folks, we need you to go to the Patreon,
Yeah.
patreon.com/werewolf radar. I guess we need one. If you want to hit us with two, I mean, we
We
could
wouldn't
use
say
one.
no.
We could use one for personal stuff.
I'm gonna put it on our Amazon wish list as well.
Yeah,
Anyway, patreon.com/werewolf radar. Help us get a Predator drone.
yeah. So that's kind of the long and short of what's going on with the drone situation in the Northeast is we don't know, but it's probably likely kind of a fistful of everything. And some of the pictures are pretty wild. But as far as aliens go, I remain on like sure maybe they're ducking in and taking a look and observing, but I remain on team. If I don't see, I want to see the bod.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't see the bod, I'm still like that could be anything.
We show us the body.
Show us the bod. Step out, step into the window, wave.
Let me
Uh,
see your alien abs.
Let me see the abs. What do you have? 8, 12, a 16 pack? Oh,
Just
out of this
one barrel
world.
gut like we used to have in the
Whoa.
60s.
It's a crazy hot space alien from 1950s pinup mags. She's got 18 abs and 75 breasts. She's a
I just
twisting monstrosity of breasts and abs.
I just looked up alien pinup art, and that would be a lot more interesting. These are too humanoid.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of them are going to be like, I'm a Martian moon mom.
That's not what I want. Show me the
Um,
100 eyes. Show me the 18 tits.
I think you got that backwards. So that does it for my segment that I'm calling Life Under the Drone Cone.
Ooh.
Droning on about drones.
I can't wait for Trump to give his press conferences again, specifically about this.
Yabba dabba deeba yabba dabba dabba drone. That's right, I'm back. I've got another drone update.
What?
Last night, a drone came to me, came to my window. So softly, so sweet, the drone. A beautiful
There it
drone.
is.
And it came to my window and I kissed it just gently on the lips. And bzz, it buzzed up all of my face, and that's why I'm covered in cuts.
Ah,
Trust the drones, all hail the
all
drones.
hail the insectoids. I swear allegiance to them first, and I'll die with them.
Yep.
So I have
We know your political opinions.
mantoids
Mantoid.
or fantoids.
Hmm.
That's what they call us.
Once you go mantoid, you never go fan. Go ahead, Roger.
I'm taking a break from the dryness of explaining how pyramid theories of aliens and ancient civilizations is not correct. Next week, or next episode, I will be talking about how what Atlantis actually is, the story of
Oh,
Atlantis, a lot of literary analysis. So get ready for that.
okay.
But right now, we're talking about humanoid encounters to wrap up December of this year. This one's coming out on the 29th, Jordan.
Okay.
Last episode of the year.
Oh, we didn't do a Crimbo theme for once. Oh, some of those drones are Santa Claus. How about
Yeah,
that?
some of those clones are Santa Claus. The clones, the
Santa
drones.
clones.
That's how he gets around so
Santa
fast.
clones on drones.
We
We
just
didn't even
solved
touch on
Santa
that.
Claus.
We didn't even touch on that. It's Santa Claus.
I have,
I'm
besides
testing my new
blowing.
drone army.
All
Go Santoids.
right, so I have for ending the year in some paranormal fun, I have scrolled the hollowed halls of Reddit, swiped away a lot of the questionable posts that turned out to be OCs,
Hmm.
and I've entered our humanoid encounters.
Oh.
And I'm going to be reading some recent humanoid encounter
I
posts.
love I love humanoid encounters. They're so strange and vague.
They're so strange and vague. This one is weirdly specific.
They're so strange and specific sometimes.
My grandma's possible gnome or leprechaun encounter.
Oh.
My grandmother died almost 17 years ago,
Oh,
and I was
jeez.
recently talking to my mom about the stories she'd tell me. And there was one particular story that had slipped my mind until she recently reminded me about it. This happened in Manchester, England. What part is that? Is that middle?
Manchester. Yeah, Midlands.
Okay. All right. I'm trying to learn the parts of England.
Yeah.
I thought London was a little bit higher north in a recent graph geography competition I had with my lady, and she mocked me savagely for it.
Oh, oh, that's a tough one.
So I put too much salt in her food.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll learn her.
She said it was very tasty. You actually seasoned it.
Oh, jeez.
I'm a
Sounds
very bad cook.
like you need to be using more salt. Boy, double slam.
So this happened
Devastating.
around Manchester, England. In 1953, a few hours after my grandma had just given birth to my Uncle John, during the night, my Nana was laying in bed trying to sleep with my newborn uncle, but had struggled to drift to sleep due to the baby fussing about. She told me that she was laying on her back with my uncle on her chest and the room was pretty much pitch black aside for the streetlight coming in through the net curtains. She tried to drift off, but then started feeling a little uneasy as though she had been, or as though she was being watched. That sort of feeling that makes your skin prickle and your hairs start to stand on end. I feel that sometimes,
I feel
but
it.
then I I don't know, fall asleep.
Well, you fall asleep before the gnome shows up.
Ooh, what's it doing to my toes? Why are they so wet? The
Carry
next
on.
minute, she heard a whistling coming from the side of the bed, so she looked to her right and said that she saw a tiny man in a suit grinning at her from the floor below.
In a suit.
In a suit!
What's he got a suit on?
I don't know. My grandpa saw gnomes when he passed,
Oh,
but they did not wear anything that stood out to him.
they didn't wear anything.
Yeah. She said he seemed full of mischief and almost seemed to be mocking her and the baby by pointing at them and making a hand on stomach and laughing motion.
Weird.
He then was kind of dancing around and tipping his hat and jumping from one foot to another, still
Look, I am a
laughing and pointing.
friend. I do a little dance.
He jumped on the bed with glee and came even closer to them and did the same motions, which was hand on stomach laughing, like cartoon laughing. She remembered feeling a sense of dread, as though it was trying to get across the thought she wouldn't have the baby for very long.
Yikes.
Now, this is, of course, her nephew. Wait, is it?
No, her uncle.
Oh, this is her baby, but the reader's uncle. I read that wrong in my head. Sorry.
This is her grandmother giving birth to the uncle.
Oh my. She remembered feeling a sense of dread. The thought was that she would not have the baby for very long, or that it knew something she didn't.
It's a Rumpelstiltskin.
It is very much a Rumpelstiltskin.
She's rumping.
She was terrified and closed her eyes, thinking it was some kind of hallucination due to exhaustion.
Get out of there. You got to get out of there.
Now, my Uncle John sadly died via brain aneurysm after being beaten with a baseball bat by car thieves in 1980.
Good Lord.
So I don't know if those two are related.
That's
That's
like
so.
that's like some straight up Warriors shit.
Yeah, if you think America's tough, man, go to England in 1980. The time which Sid Vicious started doing heroin.
Mm-hmm.
The next humanoid encounter, why the suit? You're right. What type of suit was it?
The suit is so strange.
Like an admin style suit, you know?
Yeah. I'm here from the Rumpelstiltskin board. I'm here from local Stiltskins 516. Ah, like doing little laughing, gloating. It's awful.
I'm unnerved by it.
I too am unnerved. It's
This
upsetting.
one is called My Encounter at Night in Remote Finnish Countryside. It was December 26th, 3 years ago, and me and my sister had just visited our grandparents who live at a farm in the remote Finnish countryside.
Mm.
It was not particularly late, perhaps around 7 in the evening, but this being the north, the road was pitch black and there were no streetlights. My sister was focused on driving carefully, as you never know when a deer might jump out on the road, but I was looking around at the side of the road, which was only lit by the headlights of the car. Suddenly, I saw the shape of an unnaturally tall man standing perfectly still at the side of the road,
Eek.
simply staring blankly ahead while remaining still.
Yike.
The humanoid figure seemed to pay no attention to us nor the car.
Upsetting.
Very upsetting. The very moment I saw the humanoid figure, my laser brain sensed danger.
Laser brain.
Lizard brain, I'm sorry. My
Oh,
lizard brain
I
sensed
was like, damn, this motherfucker got a laser
danger.
brain.
I almost jumped on my seat and my heart started to beat extremely rapidly. I had never experienced that sort of sudden visceral fear before, and my sudden reaction freaked out my sister who was driving. I quickly looked back and the figure was still there, but very quickly it became dark.
Ooh.
This was a remote road with multiple kilometers to the nearest farms, and there were no streetlights. We're talking rural Finland.
Figure.
In theory, it is not impossible for a tall person to have been walking in the area, stopping to let the car pass. But this was an area where there were no houses anywhere close. It was a pitch dark road and the temperatures were freezing.
Mm.
And the humanoid was just staring blankly ahead, was very unnatural.
Yeah, that's yeah.
They said it reminded them of the Finnish Scandinavian folklore and a creature called Nutupuki
What? Who's that?
or the Kikripuki,
What?
which is a northern Scandinavian version of Krampus for some imagery.
Oh boy. Don't like
So
that
no
at all.
lederhosen, but like more reindeer fur.
Sure. Do you think Krampus wears lederhosen?
I do.
I love that.
He doesn't?
No, I don't think he wears anything.
Well, he's just nude?
Yeah, that's part of the terror.
Maybe the boys he beats are wearing lederhosen. I'm getting the whole image confused.
Could be. Could be a little of both.
So there's a new
Maybe they have
there's a
one
new creature
horrible
for your
pair that they trade back and forth.
so there's a new creature for the Monstroco Monstrorium. I forgot what the book was called.
Oh, the Libris Monstrum Leviculae?
Thank you. Yeah, put that in there. Bookmark that page.
Absolutely.
The new Nuuttipuki, Nuuttipukki, or the Kikaripuki.
Kikarapuki.
Everywhere I said it, it's not correct.
The Kikarapuki.
Kekripuki.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Get get some nightmares, listeners.
Get some nightmares. Clap, 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 clap,
I'll
clap.
do two more. And this one's a relatively short one. I had a terrible day today.
Oh, geez. I'm sorry.
And I should have said that, but I'm not going to go back and read the other usernames. This
Sure.
one is from Your Hooba Stinks.
Nice.
So the band was having a terrible day today. Not to get into it, but they went to their boyfriend's house, and once he got off work for some comfort and not to be alone. I was meaning to leave his house around midnight, but ended up taking a little nap and waking up around 2 a.m. I have things to do tomorrow, so this was not in the plan, and I walked home, which is about 3/4 of a mile from his house, so somewhat close. We're talking 20-minute walk. I don't know. I don't want to give away the exact location, but this is not far from the University of Cincinnati. And I've seen lots of strange things walking home late at night, but never felt in danger usually. I was about halfway home when I noticed this person
Ooh.
walking in front of me pretty erratically. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
YouTube time. Look at this.
Oh.
I'm glad it went big and didn't take me to some weird site.
Hmm. Just a person in a coat, right?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, but it looks unnatural. I think I see what she's seeing. Like it's a little bit too lanky.
Mm-hmm.
Cheesebot
It's
says two kids in a coat theory, which is very
always valid.
always valid.
Maybe it's Muppet Man. It does look a little like Muppet Man.
It looks like its arms are a little bit off. Like it's very uncanny. Like someone we talk about creatures trying to mimic humans, but being off in certain ways. This gives that
Hmm.
type of energy.
It's giving mimic, as the children would say.
Yes. All right. Let me go back there. It always takes me away from the window. They saw this person walking in front of them pretty erratically. You can see in the picture the feet, and they were definitely what I would call shuffling,
Hmm.
not
Surely.
walking. Because for some reason, in the back of my head, my subconscious told me not to pass this person. They were going slower than me, so I had to slow down. I hate when that happens.
Not wrong with a little shuffle.
When you're following someone going too slow and you're like right on them. All right, let's go on. They were going slower than me. A guy walking his dog was between us at one point and looked at whatever this was, then looked at me, who was low key watching YouTube videos while walking home. Well, think about watching Werewolf Radar, your Hoobastanks.
Yeah.
We're on YouTube.
We're on YouTube. Why not listen to us
Listen
watch
to
it
us
with your eyes?
and your mouth.
Oh boy.
So they were watching YouTube, walking home. Once again, the guy passes him, looks at this person, and then looks back at them and makes the oh my face.
Oh, weird.
There we go. His reaction made me kind of pay attention for real as to what this person was. He was looking at me like, what the basically. That was about five buildings away from mine. I kept my distance, but once I got to my building, something told me to take a picture. That is what I showed you earlier. This is lit entirely by streetlights, and when I opened my camera to 1x, it made it look farther away, so I zoomed in. Upon zooming in is when I noticed the head shape and got an overwhelming feeling of dread as I snapped this. Any ideas why?
Hmm.
I ran into the building side door because it felt so surreal. I can't stop thinking it. They said a friend told them to post it here because Reddit will help you.
Will I?
I think it will.
We'll see.
I think it will. Once again, here's that picture. Tell us what you think it could be. I forgot where the share button was. So that's not a hat. That's his head. Is that a lizard person, Jordan?
It's giving big Jeepers Creepers vibes.
Never saw the movie.
You never see Jeepers Creepers?
It's too scary. I saw the
Dude,
trailer and went, no.
dude, so scary. The Jeep, he is out there and he creep. It's frightened, bro. Yeah, I didn't realize that was the head. That's a little stranger. Weird. I mean, here's the thing. There's
Yes.
a lot of weird people out there.
Fair.
People who, just maybe don't have as normal a shaped body as you might anticipate.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Look how you want.
Do you know
Slash,
the story about the
you're okay, already beautiful.
the Green Man?
The Greenman?
The Green Man. We've talked about him here on this very show. Let me do a little Google here.
Yeah, I don't remember the Green Man.
Here he
Surely
is.
we would have made some it's always funny, silly references. Nope,
His name
it doesn't matter.
his name is he was a man named Raymond Robinson, a disfigured American man whose years of nighttime walks made him into a figure of urban legend in Western Pennsylvania. Robertson was so severely injured in a childhood electrical accident that he could not go out in public without fear of causing a panic, so he went for long walks at night. Local tourists would drive along his road in hopes of meeting the Green Man or Charlie No Face. Most
Charlie No
became
Face.
Most became disappointed to see no such person. Nonetheless, people passed on tales about him to their children and grandchildren. People raised on these tales are sometimes surprised to discover that he was a real person who was loved by his family and neighbors. Yeah, he used to go for these night walks, and people in their cars would see this guy without a face. And he became an urban legend, but he was mostly just trying to bum smokes from people.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It sounds like a pretty strange situation, but I've been in pretty strange situations myself. And sometimes, you know, sometimes it gets the better of you. The fog
Fair.
of war, they call it.
Yeah, in the moment, things look how your brain needs to interpret them, you know? It can add
How,
some features and whatnot.
however, that
Yes.
said, this is the part everybody likes. This is the however. There's a lot to be said for a person's lived experience. And this person thought this was strange enough that they took what is pretty strange picture at the end of the day.
It's something I will think about the whole day. It's very unnerving and Muppet-like, like so uncanny. I think it's full mimic.
Muppety. Yeah. Muppety Mupp.
All right, I have now to crap up the year with
Crap
some
up the year.
to crap it up real good. The Dog Man of Monterey Hills, Los Angeles.
The Dog Man of Monterey Hills. Never been to Monterey Hills, but love me a dog man,
It
even though they're
is
quite terrifying.
from one Toxic Koala 0826.
Hmm.
And this is their sighting. This happened on the 15th of last month. So November 15th. It was a
Uh,
Friday, which meant that I could stay up late and play video games. My friends from school, whom I'm typically played with, weren't online, so I didn't have anything to do. In the mood for some chocolates, I decided to take a nighttime bike ride. My ride to the grocery store was normal. I parked my bike, got my chocolates, and headed back.
chocolates.
Since it was nighttime, I decided to take the normal streets since there aren't many cars on the road. As I exited the normal streets and began my descent down the one-way streets that cut through the secluded neighborhoods, I noticed a car following close behind. This guy's headlights were cranked all the way up, which reflected through my bike side mirrors, blinding me through my helmet. I decided to pull over and let the guy pass. I stopped my bike behind the car parked in front of the house. Like all the houses on the block, the lights inside were off. So I wasn't worried if the owner was seeing me and thinking, what's this suspicious biker just sitting there behind my car doing?
Sure.
So I was mostly wearing all black, so I wouldn't be surprised if someone mistake me for someone shady. I was probably sitting on my bike for about a minute waiting for this guy to pass, but his car hadn't turned the last corner. I didn't see any headlights coming down the road, so I figured he wasn't coming. Before I continued on my bike, I decided to take in the night air, flipped open my visor, and took a deep breath. I turned off my bike's motor. It may sound like I'm sugarcoating this, but once I turned off the motor, the entire area fell dead silent. All that could be heard were the faint chittering of crickets, the wind blowing through the trees above.
Well, that's not dead silence, is it? The crickets know.
The wind can be spooky, though.
Wind can be spooky.
I just sat there with my head to the sky, eyes closed, arms limb at my side, arms limb, arm limbs, arm
Arm
limbs
limb.
at my side. It was so peaceful. All of a sudden, the distracting pitter patter of footsteps came within earshot.
Oh boy.
Turning towards the footsteps, I noticed that they're coming from across the street. The
Oh
footsteps
jeez.
didn't sound like a typical person's, they sounded so much heavier.
Ugh.
Suddenly, I saw a tall black figure emerge from behind a garden hedge in front of a home across the street from me. Whatever this thing was tall and fast. If I had to estimate how tall it was, I'd say it was nearing the 7-foot range. At this point, I was frozen with fear. Only part of me, the only part of me that moved was my head as I watched the figure run down the driveway of the home and run the opposite way from me across the street. But as the
Yeah.
figure crossed the street, the moonlight illuminated it, giving me a clear picture of it. It looked like a stereotypical werewolf. It had claws, bent legs, mangy fur, pointed ears, and a toothy muzzle.
Mhm.
Basically, a wolf human hybrid.
Oh boy.
My heart sank. The creature disappeared in the shadows cast by the homes across the street, but I could still hear its heavy footsteps as they grew further and further away.
Oh boy.
A minute passed, then another. I was left sitting on my bike, confused and frozen in fear, but I didn't want to move, let alone on my bike's motor and alert everything in the area where I was.
All these MRFers are out here seeing dogmen.
But I had no choice. I silently hopped off my bike and manually turned it the opposite way. I got on my bike, and the instant I turned on the bike's motor and turned on my bike's motor and sped off. The ride was a blur. All I remember was me zooming down the streets, definitely not going the speed limit, and never stopping at stop signs.
Sure. Punch it. The Wolfman's coming.
Indeed, they got home, looked up to see if there was a full moon, and it was.
Get the hell out of here. That's a little too perfect.
It is, but I believe it. I think there's a Wolfman in Los Angeles. The
People
body will
see
prove me right.
people see weird shit. Speaking of, have you seen the trailer for that new Wolfman or any of the discourse around it?
No, the only thing that we've been playing here is the trailer to Popeye the Slayer Man on repeat. It's madness.
The new Wolfman actually looks pretty good, but the Wolfman itself actually looks really stupid. He looks like a yeah, he looks like a weird like old man or like a weird like Santa Claus or something.
Oh, I'm at it now.
It's very strange.
Yeah, what is this nonsense?
Watch the trailer. It looks really good, but they really did beef it on the no, 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 that's not it. That is not it. That is not it. That's it to the right. Yeah,
Oh, I
that.
much prefer this one.
Yeah, look at the hang on, look at the on the right. You see that gnome man? That's it.
Oh, I chose the wrong one again.
No, it's not even that. It's just that that in no way looks like a wolf man. You can see this was at like the Universal Studios release part, like some kind of party, and you can see the poster for the movie behind it.
What's what's going on,
Yeah.
Jordan? Are
Yeah.
we being punked?
What I think is happening is that they're not releasing the final image of the Wolfman because they really want it to be like a scare.
Sure. And this is him
And
before he changes?
this is some kind of intermediate form.
I hope not. I want this.
You want Hermit Wizard Werewolf?
Why not? I think it's time. I think it's time for Hermit Wizard Werewolf
Hermit
to
Wizard Werewolf.
jump on the scene, perhaps even go to the Met Gala.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's the last one for me, unless we want maybe to find a short one.
No, I mean, you can find one if you want, but I mean, this is a pretty good episode. I've had a
All
great
right.
time.
Then I'll find one for myself. Guys,
Okay.
find suited humanoid beings from Jupiter in Luanda, Angola,
I mean,
and we'll read that together silently.
why would you tease it like that? Now we have to know.
Because it's way too long.
Okay, I
I
see.
will link it to our Discord, which Jordan, I think it's time to wrap it up with some
Some plugs that
promo
we forgot to
plugs.
do at the start of the show. Folks, check us out on Twitch. Check us out on, although we haven't been playing a lot of Night Bastard lately. It's a bummer. Uh,
Sadly.
However, Roger's on there streaming. You can check us out on YouTube. You can check us out at werewolfradar.com. You can check us out at patreon.com if you really enjoyed what we did. And you can help us out with a financial donation to help run the radar. You will get an extra episode most weeks. You will also get access to a bunch of other goodies for helping us out. We hope you are having a happy and spooky holiday season. Shout out to Chuck from Snappy Little Numbers for our intro and outro song. And shout out to you, the Pingo on the stream, for keeping it real where the holidays meet. Oh no, I'm rhyming.
Don't worry about it. Keep it going. We're now a rap group.
Oh boy. Until next time, as ever, our sign-off line for all and any sundry listeners on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Punch that
the sky, Spaceman Joe.